Hello everybody, this is Julie Miles signing back in again to finish off my story about how we got married 3 days after me arriving to Jordan and Amman. I know, right? Fast. But anyway, here you are looking at another lovely picture that is furnished in our apartment that we're living in right now. So anyway, let me get back to the story. We had to do a lot of running around. We had to go get our papers signed at the court house and everything. He arranged actually for the judge to come to his aunt's house, and so we were married at his aunt's house. The people that were attending our wedding, it wasn't really a wedding like we have in the U.S. It was more just signing of papers, and we had dinner. His mom and dad was there, his uncle, his aunt, and their kids, and his brother and his sister were there. And we all just gathered around, we were talking, and actually the first time we tried to do this was at his aunt's house. And the judge or something wasn't completed in the paperwork, so we were all dressed and ready to do this, and come to find out we weren't able to do it that night. So we had to drive all the way back to Amman again from Arabid, from where we were at. And we were disappointed, and we were, it was like, I can't believe it, it didn't fall through. We did all this running around to get everything, prepared, and come to find out we were missing something. We needed a stamp or something like that on one of the paperwork. I believe that's what it was. So anyway, the following night we had to do it all over again. And that night it worked out. We had his sister, which was a witness for us, and even though she didn't really speak that good of English, I didn't even know what I was signing. They were just telling me what I was signing, and that's what I was signing. So I was just praying, okay, well, I hope this is really what's being said and this is really what's going to happen, because I'm getting married, and for me that's something that I take wholeheartedly, serious. And so we got married, and we went back home that night, and we were so excited, and I was posting on Facebook, and I don't know if I told you in my other video, I also have 4 children that are adults now. And I have 3 sons and 1 daughter. My daughter's in her late 20s, and my boys, which one had passed away, was in a car accident. Drunk driver killed him last October. So it's been, no, actually almost 2 years ago. So I was writing to them and communicating with them because they were freaking out and crying and all that stuff, because they were really worried about me. And that's the only reason why I only stayed as long as I did, was because he promised them that he would have me back at a certain time back in the States. So anyway, after that, after we got married, he took me to all these awesome places and showed me around Jordan. He went to Petra. If you ever are in the Middle East here in Jordan, you have to go see Petra. I'll post some pictures of it, of Petra. We went to the Dead Sea, which was really cool because it's the lowest point in the earth, is what I'm told. And the density of the water is, the salt in the water is so thick that you just literally walk in the water and you just sit, and you're so buoyant, you just float. And I'll also post some pictures about that too. It was just really cool. And then you're probably wondering about our religion. He is Muslim, of course, and I was Christian. And so he took me to all the Christian sites, and I thought that was really cool. He took me where Jesus was baptized, and where Moses was, and Mount Nemo, and all these different places. It was just really cool. We had like the best time ever. We even went diving which was really cool. It was my first time that I'd ever been diving. And it took me like, I'd say 30 minutes to get used to that regulator to breathe. It's just I couldn't figure it out. But once I got it figured out, then we were underneath the water for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, because I spent 30 minutes of the time trying to figure out how to work and breathe underwater. But, you know, all is well. So then the time came I had to come back home, and I really didn't want to leave. I was having such a good time here. His family is awesome. His mom and his sisters and brother all welcomed me, his father. And one little thing I left out was our age difference. Well, I was 45 and he was 29. So I was a little bit concerned about that, meeting his family and me being, you know, so much older. And his mother had asked me, you know, or I'd asked her, I was like, are you okay with that? And she was like, yeah. She goes, you know, that we do this all the time, you know, it's not really a big deal. So I was like, oh, okay. You know, so that like put me at ease a little bit. And the hospitality here is awesome. I mean, every time you walk in to a family member's home or something like that, they always, you get coffee, tea, and a sweet, like a snack or something like that. And if you're at a meal, believe me, you will not leave that place hungry. You're like over full. So I almost dreaded actually going to any family member's home because I'm not used to eating that way. And once your plate is almost gone, you're like, yes, I think I've conquered this meal and I'm done. They're scooping more food onto your plate and you're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to eat that. And of course there's the language barrier where they can't understand me, I can't understand them because they speak Arabic and I speak English. And so I was raised, I don't know about you, but you're raised to eat and clean your plate and make sure everything's gone. So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, they just piled my plate up with food again. How in the hell am I going to eat this? Seriously. I'm like stuffing my face, I'm trying to keep it down, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then comes the third helping again. I'm like, wah, stop. I can't possibly eat no more. And my husband's like, it's okay, it's okay. I was like, no, you don't understand. It's not okay. I can't eat anymore. He's like, no, just leave it. I was like, just leave it? He's like, yeah. He goes, didn't they know you left full if you can't complete your meal? I was like, oh, you could have told me that before I got to the second helping, you know. Anyway, I was miserable, believe me. I couldn't sit any, let alone walk. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to share with you after me getting back home and everything. Everything worked out fine, and my family was happy to see me. I was happy. I came back home married, and I had to tell them that I did get married and everything, and they're like, okay, so now what? Are you going to go back there and live in Jordan, Amman? And I was like, well, no, he's, you know, we're waiting to do the process, and he's going to come to the U.S., and we're going to live in the U.S. together. And basically, I just told them everything that I did and what happened and everything like that. So, just so that you're not sitting here looking at a picture with all my videos, I just basically wanted to get through some of the things, you know, how we met and everything, and how, you know, some of the things we did, and I'll be able to post some pictures and share those with you. But it was like, I would say 2 months later of me being back in the States and him being here, I would say things really changed. It was like we were literally online for 24 hours a day. If I went somewhere, my iPad was online. I had a portable internet device, so that way I could be online. So if I was driving, going to the store, whatever it was, taking a walk to the park or just walking around, I was with him, and literally online, on cam, and we shared everything. He was online with me, and I was watching him, and he was watching me. So people really thought I was crazy. He was like, he's just, you know, control freak, this and that. And I was like, you know what? I was like, it's not him. It's us. It's like we're trying to get to know each other. We're communicating. We're sharing, you know, with each other. And people, I don't know, they just got the wrong idea, I think, and just thought it was really weird, which, you know, I can understand how that may look. But that's the only way we had to communicate and to get to know each other. And I, again, was still homeless in a sense that my mom's car that I had replaced the transmission in it, and it wasn't running properly, so I had to come back to her town again where I was at, 6 hours away. And I ended up staying with her male friend who she was dating, kind of like, at the time, for the past 5 years. And so basically he was just a really close family member. So I ended up just staying there and living with him. And we got tired of waiting. He goes, you know, I just don't want to be away from you anymore. And he was sending me money to help me out and trying to afford things here on his end. So he was taking care of 2 households, which is almost impossible once you understand the wages here are ridiculous. So he's like, well, we have to try and figure out a way to get a plane ticket and get you back here, and you could just stay here with me and live with me. We'll get an apartment here and till my visa comes through, his visa comes through, so we can return back to the U.S. Because he had filed for a visa like right after we got married. And he hired a lawyer and everything, and it was already in process. So we were like, cool. It's already been a few months, and it usually takes, for the whole process, because they got a new system now, between 5 to 6 months, let's say, for it to be complete and get your interview and then get your visa to come to the U.S. So that's another story in and itself. That didn't work out very well because the lawyer, once we got here, we were expecting some papers to come in and we never received them. They never arrived, and he kept saying, well, they're in the mail, they're on their way, it's in the process, la-di-da-da. Come to find out, the lawyer didn't file any papers. So now that we thought it had been, what, 4 or 5 months, or 3 months actually, that had passed already, and we figured we only had a couple more months that I'd have to be here in Amman before we can leave. Come to find out, he hadn't done anything. So that meant that we had to start the process from scratch all over again. I was pissed. He was pissed. We were like, okay, we were planning on being here for only a couple months, and now we're going to be here for another 5 or 6 months. And I'm not sure how that was going to work. We were just really unsure. But anyway, let's stay tuned for the next video, and I'll tell you all about that. And then I'm going to show you the apartment. I know I only have 15 minutes to run a video, so I have a lot to tell you and a lot to discuss with you. So stay tuned and watch the next video, and I'll continue from there. This is Julie Miles. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.